Hey y'all, Riley here, back again with another fridge review. Setpower reached out and asked if I wanted to test and review their 35 liter, 37 quart fridge. I think this is called the PT35, and I said yes. I would consider this a mid-size fridge. The external dimensions are about 24 and a half by 16 by 17 tall. So it fits nicely in the back of the Jeep. In the back of a truck, it'd be even better. It has two compartments. One is smaller and sits on top of the compressor. One is larger and full depth. It's composed primarily of this hard composite plastic and then an aluminum shell. So it's pretty sturdy, but still lightweight. You can pick it up easily, carry it around, but you could also sit on this around a campfire. I don't know that I'd recommend it. You can probably find something more comfortable, but it is sturdy enough that you could do that. And then the handles themselves, while they're not spring loaded, they are large, they're easy to grab, and they clear the top of the fridge just barely, so it makes it easy to hold on to it while you carry it from site to site, load it into your vehicle, all that jazz. The fridge is very efficient. Setpower claims that it can cool down in 15 minutes, and in our testing, although ambient temperatures were a little low, Jared and I found that to be pretty accurate. It also maintains that temperature pretty well. Again, it is a little cold here in Tennessee, so during the summer you may find different results, but with 57 millimeters of insulation, I do think that those claims from Setpower are pretty accurate. The compressor that powers this fridge is backed by a 3-year warranty, which at this price point is very good. A lot of fridges in this price point come with a 1-year compressor warranty. So keep that in mind when you're researching how long do they warranty the compressor for, because that gives you an idea of their confidence in it, as well as if you're backed if something does go wrong with that compressor. Speaking of the compressor, it is very well ventilated, which is essential. Compressors give off a lot of heat, and if you are blocking the dispersion of that heat, it can affect the performance of the fridge as well as the longevity of the compressor. And as you can tell, this one has a lot of ventilation, so I feel pretty good about that. The PT35 is a true dual zone fridge freezer, so you can set each side individually using the panel here, and it can be set from 0 degrees to 50 degrees. That's Fahrenheit. So you could set both sides as a freezer, both sides as fridges, either or as fridge or freezer. You could also just leave one off and use it for snacks or things that you don't want to be cold. So it makes it a great little fridge for weekending if you want to bring your ice cream along, but you also have to bring the essentials, you know, like your beer and red wine. I don't know. Red wine, does that go in a refrigerator? No. Jared says no. I don't drink red wine. In the compartments, both actually have an LED light, which again, at this price point, is a luxury. A lot of fridges will have one light or no lights at all. So Setpower, again, value-wise, very good at the price point. You can power the PT35 either by 12 volt or by household plug. It comes with adapters for both, and both use the same input on the fridge, which is nice. You don't have to guess which one plugs in where if it's already in your truck or something like that. The price point on this fridge is very competitive at $330, and it's constantly on sale, so you can expect to pay around that, maybe a little bit less depending on what sale they're running. It is equipped with 3 levels of battery protection, so if you're running it off your truck, for example, you might want to set that battery protection on high so you don't come back from your trip to Costco and have a dead battery. Or if you're running it off a external power source, maybe you set it to low so that it stays on and you prioritize the fridge over whatever else is going on in your power system. You do have 2 speed modes for the compressor, and essentially that determines the balance between power draw and how quickly the compressor will cool down the fridge. So set to max, you're going to cool down the fridge very quickly, but it is going to draw more power. Set to minimum, you're going to protect your battery a little bit more. That's more of an eco mode, but it will take longer to cool down the fridge. And I imagine that's especially true if you want to freeze things. It's much harder to get down to that temp and keep it there than it is, you know, drinks at 40 degrees. So keep that in mind, depending on your power source, which compressor mode you're using. So overall impressions, like I said, Jared and I took this out. We used it for the weekend. We had it in the Jeep while we were trail riding, so it was bouncing around, which can be hard on compressors. And we found it to be a very good fridge. It strikes a nice balance with its size, yet its weight, with its price point, yet its efficiency. So overall, if you're on the market for a budget fridge in that mid-range size, I would say that this is a great option. It has quite a bit of insulation at this price point. It has nice features like those LED lights, and as a true dual zone, you're not going to find very many quality options at $330. We were also impressed by the durability and the sturdiness. The handles are great. Jared's a pretty big guy. He's around 6'2", and his hands fit in that and around those handles, and that's not always the case with these fridges. Sometimes the handles are dinky, they're hard to grip and maneuver into a vehicle. This one doesn't have that problem. Some things to be aware of, which could be considered downsides of this fridge, are the lid does not stay open. It's just gravity holding it open. So if you want to open it part way, you have to hold it, or it falls shut pretty aggressively. The handles aren't spring-loaded. Some people prefer spring-loaded handles. Personally, I kind of like that they stay up in the position that you had them in initially, but that's personal preference. Thirdly, there are not built-in tie-down points, so you would have to use the handles themselves as lashing points if you want to mount this in a vehicle. So if you're thinking about using something like this for your overland rig, keep in mind that you are going to have to use those handles as your tie downs for the fridge, and that can put stress on them, and some people just would prefer to have dedicated mounting points. Lastly, it is an aluminum shell, and you have exposed aluminum in this contrasting strip around the top of the fridge. Because it's exposed aluminum and not this hardened plastic, it can and will dent if you hit it against something. Jared and I already put some marks on the back getting it in and out of his Jeep. So keep that in mind. It's purely aesthetic. It doesn't affect the function of the fridge at all, but because it's aluminum, it's a softer material, it will dent. If you're interested in a fridge, check this out. I believe I have an affiliate link, so I'll put that in the links below. If you're unfamiliar with Jared, you're gonna love his Jeep and his photography. He's a very talented fellow. So I'll put his Instagram down below as well. Go check him out and his very recognizable nacho themed Jeep. It's awesome. And he produces some great content. So go check Jared out. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and drop a comment below if you have any thoughts on this fridge series. I don't know that it's gonna keep going. I don't know where this floodgate of fridges came from, but we're riding the wave. See you on the next one.